After the death of Saul, David was appointed as a king of Israel. He was victorious in all his battle because the Lord was with him. Now King David was settled in his palace. David said to prophet Nathan, "Here I am living in a house built of cedar, but God's covenant works in a tent." David showed his desire to build the temple of the Lord, but the Lord said to David through the mouth of Nathan that David's son is the one who will build a temple for him. After David, his son Solomon was appointed as king of Israel. Solomon sent a message to King Hiram of Tyre, who was a friend of his father David. He said, "The Lord promised my father David, your son, whom I will make a king after you, will build a temple for me. And now I have decided to build the temple for the worship of the Lord my God. So send your man to Lebanon to cut down cedars for me." When Hiram received Solomon's message, he sent message saying, "I have received your message and I am ready to do what you ask. I will provide the cedars and pine trees." So Hiram supplied Solomon with all the cedar and pine logs that he wanted. For 80 years after the people of Israel left Egypt, Solomon began work on the temple. Inside it was 27 meters long, 9 meters wide, and 13.5 meters deep, and 9 meters wide as the sanctuary itself. Inside walls were covered with cedar panels from the floor to the ceiling, and the floor was made of pine. An inner room called the Most Holy Place was built in the rear of the temple. In the rear of the temple, an inner room was built where the Lord's covenant box was to be placed. The altar was covered with cedar panels. The inside of the temple was covered with gold, and gold chains were placed across the entrance of the inner room, which was also covered with gold. Two winged creatures were made of olive wood and were placed in the most holy place. The foundation of the temple was laid in the 4th year of Solomon's reign, and work of the temple was completed in the 11th year of Solomon's reign. It had taken Solomon 7 years to build it. Solomon then ordered to bring Lord's covenant box, in which 2 stone tablets were there which Moses had placed at Mount Sinai when the Lord made a covenant with the people of Israel as they were coming from Egypt. Solomon and all the people there offered 22,000 heads of cattle, 120,000 sheep as a fellowship offering, and so the king and all the people dedicated the temple.